Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Congratulations in the first place for completing Misra Jathi Triputa Thalam. You have seen the complete revision and review last class. So today I am going to start off with Sangeerna Jathi Triputa Thalam, which is a 13-beat cycle. Before I start Sangeerna Jathi Triputa Thalam, I would start this class with a Tirukkural on Puran Kuramai, talking ill about others at the back. How Thiruvalluvar handles it very deftly. Aram sollum nenjattan nannai puran sollum punmayal kaanapadum. Puram கூறுபவன் அறத்தை நல்லதென்று அடுத்தவரிடம் கூறினாலும் அவன் அதை மனதாரச் சொல்லவில்லை என்பதை அறிந்து கொள்ளலாம். What does Thiruvalluvar say? A person who normally has a habit of talking at the back of somebody, even if he talks good about or virtues to someone, he will know within himself that he is not talking the truth. That's what Thiruvalluvar says. He also goes inside, deep inside the person who talks ill about at the back. What is going on within him? So he's not true to himself. So that's what he tries to reveal it. So normally in our day-to-day life we say, whatever now God knows, He is watching all of us. And I think it's a fact. No, we are not duping. We have to be true to ourselves. The most closest is our heart. And we have to be very, very true to ourselves to be very happy in this world. So with this good thought, let's get into the class. Today, I'm going to handle one of a classy, very, very complicated thala so that you get an idea of how you can go about other much more complex thala in this 35 thala cycle. So, Sangeerna Jathi Triputa Thala. What is Sangeernam? In the Jathis, there are 5. Again, I wanted to go back and then refresh this memory. The 5 Jathis are Tisra Jathi, Chadusra Jathi, Ghanda Jathi, Misra Jathi, Sangeerna Jathi. Tisram is 3, Chatusram is 4, Ghandam is 5, Misram is 7, Sangeernam is 9. Sangeerna Jathi is 9 beats. Triputa Thalam is 1 lagu, 2 dhrutams. That's the structure of Triputa Thalam. So in 1 lagu, when Sangeerna Jathi, when you say it is 9 beats, you have to tell in that lagu. How to tell 9 beats in a structured way I will explain. And there are 2 dhrutams. The dhrutams are nothing but hit and turn. Twice you have to do. This is the structure. The total structure for 13 beats goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is the structure of Sangeerna Jathi Triputa Thalam. So let's get into Tadindina sequence now. Tadindina sequence, how you can view here, because it's 13 beat, as we did in 11 beat, you can make a demarcation after 5. 5 and 8 makes it 13. So for a 5, you need to do a filler. When you want to do a filler, you need to do it aesthetically. Din kitta ta din na, din din ta ta din na. You can make it 2.5, 2.5. That is one way of doing it. The second way of doing it, din kitta ta ka din din na, ta din din na. 3 and 2 we can do it. Again it's 5 beats. 2.5, 2.5 is 5. 3 plus 2 is also 5. Again, you can do the reverse way. 2 plus 3 is also 5. Ta din din na. Din kittu taka din din na. That is another 5. Okay. So these are the different ways by which you can pad up the first part. The second part is ta din din na. Kita taka din din na. Ta din din na. Kita taka taka dimi taka dimi taka dimi ta. That sits perfectly like Adi Thalam. So the once when you understand to pad this first 5 in any of these 3 different forms, you will be able to play the rest of it beautifully. My choice would be for you, because of the first half and the second half, demarcation should be nice. I would rather go with this pattern. Ta din din na. Din kittu taka din din na. Taka din din na. Kita taka din din na. Din din na. Kita taka taka dimi taka dimi taka dimi ta. The reason is, if you do the reverse of 3 and 2, din kittu taka din din na. Ta din din na. Taka din din na. You will not know. Because again there is the din din na already in the earlier part. The second half also you have after the 5th beat, again you are starting with the din din na. So if you want to draw a line, a clear line, a demarcation, you should have a different pattern from Taddin Dinna, so that you know that you are going to play the rest of the 8 as Adi Thalam. So for that, the better option I would suggest you is Taddin Dinna. Din kittu taka din din na. Ta din din na. Kita taka din din na. Din din na. Kita taka din. Kita taka taka din ta. Din din na. Din kittu taka din din na. Ta din din na. Kita taka din din na. Din din na. Kita taka taka din taka din taka din ta. Din din na. Din kittu taka din din na. Ta din din na. Kita taka din din na. Din din na. Kita taka din dum kita taka taka din din na. Kita taka din din na. Ta ta din din na. Kita taka din din na. Din din na, dum kita 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 din din na, din din kita kita din din na, din din na, kita kita din din na, din din na, dum kita 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 din din na, tata din, dum kita 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 din din na, dum kita 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 din din na, dum kita 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 din din na, dum kita 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 dum kita 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 dum, dum kita 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 dum, dum kita 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 kita. So what I did is padded up beautifully for the first 5. Tad din din na, din kittu taka din din na. Then I traditionally reduced like an Adi Thalam. Then for the first 5 also, tad din din na, din din toggada kada taka 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 taka. You can actually play the first half with the phrase beautifully, and then go with the traditional reduction after the 5 beats. Dum kada kada taka 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 dum, dum kada kada taka 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 dum. Like that you have to do. It comes from here. So 8 and 5, 13. That gets settled. So now let's look one, why you demonstrate once, because the rest of the other thing is a homework for you, as you have to try all these patterns in this form. You know how to play, but all you need to do is express it in this thala and then play it together. Traditional way of playing Sangeerna Jathi Triputa Thalam after 5 beats, doing an Adi Thala format. The next idea would be to take as units of 3, 3, 3. Again, 9 is Sangeerna Jathi, you can perfectly sit there, and then the later half are like a Chatusram, you can play that format. Din kitta taka din din na. Din din tata din din na. Tanta kitta taka din din na. Din din na. Kitta taka din. Kitta taka taka din. You can use the exact phrase for all the exact sequence format for all the phrases you need to adapt. Another variety. You can use tad din na, taka din na. It is a Misra format. To make it adapting to Sangeernam, introduce a pause in between that. 3.5 and a pause. 3.5 and a pause. Makes it 4.5 balanced. So you get a 9 beat. So perfectly settles there. And later you can play the pattern there. Tad din din dat tam. Taka din dat tam. Din na tangadun dat din na ta din dat tam. Taka din dat tam. Ta din na. What a beautiful way that pause enriches this sequence. Using this sort of a sequence, you can play another variety. The next fourth variety is again a beauty with maths and music filled integrated together. As we did in 11 aksharas, 1.5, 2, 2.5 and 3 made a 9 beats and then 2 beats phrase added to 11 beat cycle. Here 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5 I'm going to take, which is, let's see the math how it's coming up with. 2, 2.5 is 4.5, plus 3 is 7.5, plus 3.5 is 11. So 11 plus a phrase, what happens is 13 beat. So it's again a beautiful math is coming here. So with the progression, progression of ascending Shrotavahedi, and you can also do as a Gobicheti, which is a descending order, 3.5, 3, 2.5 and a 2, making it into 11 beats and then the phrase. So how it goes? Tad din na, din na, din kitta taka din na, tad din na, taka din na, kitta din, beautifully structured. When you come back, tad din na, din kitta taka din na, tad din na, tad din na, talanga. What we saw here, there are two ways of doing this pattern with maths integrated with it. One is 2, 2.5, 3 and 3.5, and also reverse 3.5, 3, 2.5 and a 2, and the phrase. For a 13 beat cycle, use each of these sequence, play all the phrases, traditionally reduce, and then you can play a mora. So a lot of homework for you to do, very interesting. You can tell and then see you can get the best grip of this thala. The next again is the outer join, lovely, beautiful piece. Again, you have to combine a 3.5 and a 2. What are the outer joins? 2 and 3.5 are the connectors, and then the 2.5 and the 3, which is in between, are the connectors. When you combine, it's equal 5.5, 5.5. When it's 5.5, 5.5, it's 11. When it's 11, now you have to play a phrase towards the end, which makes it a 13 beat cycle. How you can do that? Tad din na, din kitta taka din na, din kitta taka din na, kitta. So that is the outer join, which is the sixth variation I am talking about in one simple sequence of tad din na. We have introduced a perspective of six different forms, many different phrases, many different ways of doing it, reductions and moras, and makes this complicated thala very interesting, and then for you to get the grip and the idea of 35 thalas, a good perspective. With this, I am ending this class. I will see you more in the next class of how to go about it, handling all these. And before that, I can also show you some demonstrations of how these different varieties I spoke about, I can play and show you. So 3 units of 9 beats, and then tad din dinna, and then the phrase makes it 13 beats, one variety. Then the increased math. This is 2, 2.5, 3 and 3.5. For the 2, tad din din na. For the 2.5, tad din na. For the 3, din kittu taka din din na. For the 3.5, tad din na. These are the units, separate units. I am combining all. When you come back, tad din na. So completely the reverse way of doing it. Then the outer join, or what you do, the first and the last one. Tad din na is 2. Then you take the outer join, which is 3.5. Tad din na. Add it up together is 5.5. Next, you play tad din na, the middle inner join. There is 2.5 and a 3. That is 2.5. Din kittu taka din na. So when you play together, like that you should play, and then all the phrases and then all the reductions you have to play. So much of varieties you need to do before you master this sequence. So a lot of homework for you to do, and I want you to try everything and see. I see you in the next class. I'll end this class with a Tirukkural. Piran pari kuruvan tan pari ullum tiran terindu கூறப்படும். பிறரது குற்றத்தை அவனை காணாத விடத்து சொல்லுபவன் பிறரால் அவனுடைய குற்றங்கள் எடுத்துரைக்கப்பட்டு பழிக்கப்படுவான். What does Thirulur say here? If you are highlighting the other person's faults to someone, you will be talked at the back about your faults, your limitations, again the same way whatever you have done. This is going to happen, this is the truth. As far as Newton's third law goes, every action has got equal and opposite reaction. So when you do something, it will come back to you in the same force. When you hit the ball on the wall, it comes with the same force back to you. You need to defend it, or you should know how to defend it. If it's good, you can defend it well. If it's bad, you need to see for yourself how you can save yourself. So that's the thought. With this good thought, we need to ensure that we should not talk at the back. Let's imbibe that good quality. Cheers. I'm signing off this class and see you in the next class with more perspectives of more sequences on Sangeerna Jathi Triputa Thalam. Cheers.
Hey!